Hello, everyone. So, I had the perfect day. So, obviously, you see, I'm still celebrating Easter, and I have my candles lit and my also album. And, but okay, when I talk about a perfect day, I don't mean like an imaginary perfect day, what I would imagine to be a perfect day, like um, hanging out with my son and going hiking in the hills, which I suggested we do yesterday. I wrote to him and he didn't respond. Okay, but it's like when things go bad, like a perfect day for me would be beautiful weather also. But no, it was raining all day. So when things go bad, and despite that, you could manipulate it and twist it around to make it a perfect day. And that's what I did today. So it's really cool. And I'm really annoyed by my phone because the phone seems to be just focusing on my face, and that's really annoying because I don't want it to do that. Ah. Hmm. Anyway, uh, so yeah, I think the point of this video is to to show how you can take just a normal, ordinary day, and even with bad weather and a disappointing day, and turn it into something great. Yeah, and okay, yeah, this is a day I'd like to remember to my dying days, cause yeah, it was just so great. So, how let's start. Okay, so I woke up at 4 a.m. I don't know why. Well, actually, I do. I had to go take a piss. Okay. But usually then I go back to sleep. But then I noticed that it was already dawn outside my windows. I have these big windows behind me, like the entire wall is are windows. The entire wall is windows. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so I noticed it's dawn already. And like usually, like once it gets, when I notice it's dawn, I don't want to sleep anymore. Especially in the summer. And like I went to bed after midnight as usual, and I tried to go back to sleep, but I couldn't go back to sleep. So I'm like, oh, this is a great time to make an Easter video because I hadn't made an Easter video yet. Because I explained it in my Easter video, like I was trying to find a way to put background music in and everything. And anyway, so I made an Easter video. I lit up all the candles. I lit my Yule log on fire. Yule log is for Christmas. So basically, my altar for my like my celebrations for like spring and for winter solstice and spring and summer solstice. So, okay, so the log that I carved in runes, and yeah, and I burn it on special occasions. Anyway, so I did that. It was like 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. It was already light outside, and that in itself is an amazing thing because like 2 months ago, at 5 o'clock in the morning, it would be pitch dark, right? And the fact that like 4 o'clock in the morning, it was light already. That was just an amazing thing to me, and that just like made my day. I was like, oh man, this is so cool. Spring, I love spring. The resurrection of life and the resurrection of the sun and the resurrection of earth. And I'm just thinking, why did everything go dark all of a sudden? Uh, okay, one candle went down. Okay, I'm trying to get the candle and go back up. Okay. So, anyway, so I did like my little Easter video, and oh, the candle went out. Okay, well, I guess this is kind of makes things a little more unexpected. So I did my Easter video, then I wanted to go to sleep for a little while. I just couldn't sleep. I was too excited. Um, like it was light outside, 5 o'clock in the morning. It was bright light outside, and I really didn't want to sleep. I just couldn't sleep. I wanted to sleep, but I couldn't sleep. So I had breakfast, and I got a message from one of my favorite students that he's sick and can't have a lesson today. And so I decided to go outside, of course, for my usual walk. Problem is, it was pouring rain. So I step outside and it's pouring rain. But I had an umbrella with me. I always keep an umbrella in my backpack. I'm like, fuck the rain. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and that is to walk my usual 25 kilometers. Actually, yesterday I walked 32 kilometers, which is I call a soldier's march, because that's from what I read on the internet. That's what like U.S. soldiers are expected to march in one day. 32 kilometers, which is 20 miles. So I hate this thing. It's like framing my face. It's really annoying. I don't want my face to be framed. I want you to see the background. And I don't like my face. Anyway, so I'm like, screw the rain. And now they're making little blocks around my face. I don't want my face to be shown. Okay, this is ruining. My phone is ruining my perfect day video. I'll just be like that. Yeah. Okay. I'll just hang out like this. Hello. Okay. So I went out on the rain and just went to the local park. Because in case the rain got really bad, I could just come home. It's only a kilometer away. And I just kept walking and walking. The rain was pouring down all afternoon. And I just kept walking. I'm like, I had an umbrella. I even felt bad that I was carrying an umbrella. I'm like, yo, I'm a wuss. I should experience the full force of nature and just take the rain onto me. But I wanted to do my 25 kilometers, so I didn't want to get too wet, you know? But yeah, actually, I thought it would be cooler thing to do if I just walked without an umbrella. And so when I'm walking, like I don't have internet on my phone now, just with Wi-Fi. That's like a thing here. I don't know, some people have internet on the phone, but like the company I have, they're like, we can't do anything about it. It's government blocking internet on mobile phones. Anyway, so what I like to do is whistle. And whistling is not a Russian thing. Russians like have a superstition about whistling. Like I'd walk with my son when he was little, and I'd whistle, and he really liked it. I taught him how to whistle, and now he really likes whistling. Yeah, at least the last time I saw him. And like some old lady said, like if you whistle, you won't have any money. And I'm like, yeah, I have enough money, and I whistle all the time. So Um, but all those superstitions, like it's evil. Actually, never whistle in your house. My dad even had that superstition, right? Would never whistle in the house, and just whistling in general. My dad thought was like evil, or for some reason I don't know why. How is whistling any different from playing a flute or something? Anyway, that's weird. The superstition about whistling. I whistle a lot. I like to whistle, and yeah. My neighbor just came in. I'm listening. Every time I do 25 kilometers, I hit my mark. I whistle a special tune. Okay, I whistle right now. And I'm walking through the hallway and whistling the tune. And my neighbor is up there. He's like, "You're the only one that whistles here." Like, yeah, because I'm the only one that's American here. And he was telling me like it's bad luck and all that crap. Anyway, so I was walking the park, raining, not like really heavy rain, but just like constant rain, 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 rain. And I'm whistling some of my favorite, uh, like classical music melodies, and a lot of them from operas. And like no one does that in Russia. No one walks around the park. There weren't many people, so I actually took a video of the park overall, which normally I don't do because I don't want to have people in my video. Anyway, nobody, nobody in Russia whistles. I'm like the only one. Seriously, I go to the parks freaking every single day, and many other parks. And nobody whistles. I like to whistle. Because I don't have an instrument to play with me, and I love music, so I whistle. Okay, so I'm whistling all these different melodies from all different songs, and I'm really happy, in a good mood. Oh, I didn't mention. So I was planning to go to the hills if it was the nice weather. If it was nice weather, but it was raining all day, so I didn't want to go to the hills because it was raining all day, and they're like 5 kilometers away, and if there was like a really big storm, I wouldn't be able to get back home. So I just went to the local park. But yeah, basically, I walked for 25 kilometers in the local park, whistling opera melodies, and I consider that a perfect day. It was great. Just being outside, the weather was 6 degrees, so it was okay. It wasn't cold. Being outside, seeing all of the plants and trees blooming, and the buds, and even leaves on trees, and everything. It was just such. It was like I mean, yeah, perfect like spring Easter experience. I mean, I would just sit there, I would just stand there and look at the green buds blooming on the trees and the leaves. And I saw a really sad squirrel. He was walking on the pavement, and he was just like soaking wet. And like every time you see squirrels, they're usually like really happy and just jumping all around and climbing everything. And this squirrel was really is like, oh shit. He was just walking so slowly along the pavement, soaking wet. And finally, he got up the tree and hid himself between like two branches, and it was just like, oh. I felt bad for the squirrel. But I was having a great time. So I had decided on this game, like, guess the tune, right? While I was walking. And so yeah, I whistled like a bunch of the tunes I like to whistle from mainly from operas, but not only from operas. And like I'm challenging you guys to figure out which tune. Three of them should be pretty obvious. You've definitely heard them before. The other ones are more obscure, but for anyone out there watching and who knows what I'm talking about, Uncle Roger would have got them immediately. He would have known every single one of the tunes that I whistled on on my guess the tune video. Yeah, Uncle Roger would have absolutely recognized all the tunes that I whistled. I miss Uncle Roger. He wasn't my uncle, like biologically, but he was the uncle of my best friend's family. And Uncle Roger, I miss Uncle Roger. He was one of the few people in the world that really had that same love of classical music that I have, and that really intense understanding and just passion for it, especially the music of Richard Wagner. Okay, so if anyone's interested, try to figure out the tunes that I was with one. Three of them you should know definitely. So yeah, that's basically for me. That was a perfect day. I was so happy. I was just happy whistling, remembering beautiful music, remembering the times that I've seen those operas performed live and everything, and with great performers like Luciano Pavarotti. I've seen him live so many times in Plaza de Domingo, and yeah, it's just well, it's bringing back so many memories. And it's like, okay, I want to make this for a different video, but this makes it perfect there. Like, okay, so I have two German students. Well, I teach them German, right? And at first, they couldn't even say like 1, 2, 3 in German. And now we're studying the libretto to the opera Siegfried by Richard Wagner, which they actually really enjoy. No, they don't think it's boring. And it's a really cool, interesting story in German, of course. We're reading it. And when like we take the roles, like my student takes Siegfried, I'll take Mimi the dwarf. And when we're reading it, I just hear the music in my brain, in my mind. I'm reading the words that I can just hear it going on in my head. I can hear the exact melodies, the exact music, because I've listened to those operas so many times. Um, And it's really cool. I just have to read the libretto, and all the music will just go into my mind, especially the singing music. And maybe not the entire opera, but the singing parts will just definitely like go into my mind. So yeah, I could just like my neighbor was, uh, we like ran into each other, and I just he asked me, "Oh, well, how long is your walk day?" You know, casually mentioned 25 kilometers. Like, I think I mentioned that, but oh my, I couldn't do that. My brain would just be like, oh, he'd be so bored and everything. Like, no, because I, yeah, obviously I like internet and YouTube and all that. Um, but yeah, I have inside my head enough to entertain me. I have operas inside my head. I have philosophy inside my head that I've been studying all my life. I have so many things inside my brain to entertain me with, and books, and yeah, and yeah, movies too, and stuff like that. There's just so much information in like my brain that yeah, I'm not bored if I spend 6 hours walking outside. And the greatest thing was just being outside for most of the day, for the entire afternoon, like 12:30 till 6 o'clock. Uh, I just, I absolutely love nature. I wasn't walking on the streets or something. I was just in the park where there's trees. Huh? And plants and even some flowers and bushes turning green and yeah, just being outside and being in nature for me is such a wonderful thing, and spending all afternoon out in nature is yeah, for me it makes it a perfect day. I'm listening to the music in my head and whistling the music and everything. And yeah, I definitely think the locals think I'm weird. They're cool. They don't. Well, one person was laughing at me. I was whistling the American national anthem. This was the other day. But she just looked at me and started laughing at me. But I just ignored her. Um, I definitely think the locals think I'm weird because nobody whistles in Russia. Well, it's like I wouldn't say it's a taboo, but it's just like not what people do because of superstitions and stuff like that. So, but I didn't care, and there were hardly any people in there anyway because it was raining all day. So it stopped raining. I fueled myself with 2 cups of coffee, one regular coffee and all that day. As when it stopped raining, I happily put away my umbrella and I started walking like really fast. To get to 20 o'clock, and during the rain, I was walking slower. But anyway, yeah. So I came home. I had a lesson. I had a really good lesson with a student who's now an adult, but I've known him since he was 12 years old. And we had a really like interesting lesson together, just a speaking lesson. And I hate this square that's squaring in on my head. Anyway, um, so then I had another lesson, and then I started reading a book I'm rereading by Goethe, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, which people describe him as the the Shakespeare of Germany, right? I have like 8 volumes of his work right there. I'm looking at them right now on my shelf. So I'm rereading the Wonder Years of Wilhelm Meister, which is kind of like a forgotten about book. But I found it like in my travels in Germany. It's like German train stations are just like incredible. I was fascinated by them when I was a kid. Not because they're luxurious or something. No, they would have bookstores in every German station, and the book every German station I went to, and they would be just shelves and shelves of books, like things you wouldn't like even think about would be there. I I bought so many books there, like uh, Nietzsche, Goethe, of course, right? Things you couldn't find in other places would just be there at a random station, at a random train station, right? And not even in like an important city or anything. They would just be stocked with books of classical literature, right? And Kant and Schiller and everything. So yeah, I still have those books from my days in Germany, and I just have to make sure that the video doesn't shut off. So, oh right, I was gonna sit sideways. So, okay. So yeah, I was reading Goethe. And, like it's a very interesting book. Like I should do a separate video on Goethe. Um, his my favorite book by him is the Sufferings of Young Goethe. In English, it's The Sorrows of Young Goethe. Yeah, I'll do a separate video on Goethe. He was not only a writer, he was like a scientist. He was like a Renaissance man, and so it was really great just sitting back, relaxing, and reading Goethe after a wonderful day, walking in the rain all day, and whistling opera melodies. So, yeah. Now I'm sitting here making a video with all my candles lit. I love candles. I love fire. That's really special for me. No, why? Because it symbolizes the sun, obviously, and symbolizes really our advancement into civilization. When we discovered fire, when Prometheus brought us fire. Do you believe in that? Well, yeah, it was just an incredible day. I mean, really. I thought like, oh, it's raining. I can't go to the hills, so it's gonna be a crappy day. But no. So the point I'm trying to make is like, no matter how bad your situation is, man, my situation is pretty bad. Like I said, I haven't seen my son in a year and a half, almost, because he's an ostracizing man. I'm in a country I don't want to be in. It's obvious. I don't like being here and all. I want to go to the hills. Yesterday was a sunny, beautiful day, but it was raining all day today. But I took the crappy situation I had and I turned it into a perfect day for me. Yeah, it's a perfect day. I'm going to wind it up by listening to some classical music. Probably Bach's Easter Oratory. because I'm still celebrating Easter. But yeah, I think it's really cool how you can take a shitty situation and still like turn it into a wonderful time. And this is gonna be a day like I want to remember to my deathbed. Literally, it was that good. When I'm dying, I want to look back on this day and like, yeah, that was a great day. Even though it was raining all day. Even though there was no sun. That was a great day. Seriously. I don't know why it like affected me that way so much. Well, because of the spring, because of seeing everything come back to life, because of like seeing the resurrection of nature, and still celebrating like Easter and the resurrection of Jesus. But seeing the resurrection of nature all around me, it's like the rain couldn't take away from the joy of seeing green branches and flowers. And it was only the last 2 days I actually saw flowers blooming. I just really love nature. For me, like nature is. I keep moving over to press the video so it doesn't shut off. So for me, nature, yeah, I'm gonna make a separate video about nature. For me, nature is like divine. It, no, being a separate. Yeah. But yeah. So anytime you're down in the dumps, like I've been, because my son didn't even want to hang out with me on Easter. And he knows how important Easter is to me. Anytime you're down in the dumps and you think everything's so bad all around you and all, just think you can do something. You can just forget about that. Leave it behind, at least for a couple hours, and go and do something you really love. Even if the weather is crappy and you have to walk in the rain. Alright? Even if it's freezing, even you can turn any day into a perfect day. No, not any day when someone you love really dies. Okay, no. But in general, for every day, like, yeah, it's like depression and stuff. Like, yeah, I've gone to depression. It's an understatement. But yeah, you can just, whatever you have around you, you can, it's like, depending on your perspective. Like, I thought it was raining all day and that ruins my day. I want to go to the hills and it's raining all day and that ruins my day. But no, I managed to turn that into something great and a great experience. So, yeah, definitely. Life's not as bad as sometimes we think it is. And there's a lot of beauty in the world. We just have to like open our eyes and look at it. Like I was walking at night and I saw the stars for the first time. It was actually not cloudy. I saw the stars for the first time in a long time, and I was just so amazed by seeing the beautiful stars. Okay, it's just really annoying how the video is doing. So I was so amazed by seeing the beautiful stars, and it was just like, wow, man, I felt just like kind of part of them, or and this is for a different video about my love of nature. But yeah, it's like simple things or not even simple things. It depends on your perspective. Anyway, for anyone that's like suffering